So why running ultras makes me a better real estate agent? Let's get into it. So I've run a handful of 50Ks, 100K, which is roughly 64 miles. And it's really taught me a lot of being able to push through when things are tough, right? And I think ultra marathons and real estate actually are very similar in how they have ebb and flows of things that are fantastic and things that really suck. So within the real estate market, we all know that we have like even markets that aren't necessarily good or bad, right? We still have this ebb and flow of sometimes we have clients and we have deals going on and we have listings and all the things. And then other times we have absolutely nothing and we're wondering, will we ever get another client? Were we made to do this? All the negative thoughts that can happen in your head. So very similarly to the ultra running world, where you start running, you feel fantastic, everything's feeling great, and then within a few miles, or it could be halfway through the race or whatever it is, you hit quote unquote the pain cave where you wish you were dead. You wonder why you ever do this. You tell yourself, I'm never going to do this ever again in my entire life. You start to question, can I get to the finish line? Any of those things, right? I think those two things kind of ebb and flow together. The thing is that I've done the ultra running thing and I've made it through the other side. And knowing that I can push myself that hard physically and mentally in something like that, I know for a fact I can do it in real estate, right? Knowing and understanding, don't allow the highs to get too high, don't allow the lows to get too low. And the biggest thing and the most important thing you can control is your effort, right? I would say the same thing in ultra running. The amount of time and work and preparation you put into a race is probably how good you're going to feel at the race. Same thing in real estate. The amount of time and effort and preparation you put in your business, whether that's social media, calls, dials, reach outs, open houses, like door knocking, whatever it is, right? If you're putting in that work, you will see the success from that work in the next 3 to 6 months, right? Same thing with ultra running, where when you put in the work and you put in the months of preparation, the early mornings, the late nights, the long runs, the speed work, all the things, you know that you can get through the race that you signed up for, right? So I think having that mental toughness, and I love to call it grit, right? The grit that I have, that I've been able to get through some of the toughest things in the ultra running world, really has prepared me for the real estate world, where there is so much up and down. And I would also say being able to like shift and change things on a fly, right? Like on the fly. Right? Because in the middle of an ultra, like you may be used to eating something all the time and all of a sudden your gut tells you, nope, it's not going to work anymore. Well, same thing in real estate. You might have had the same type of pricing structure for the last 10 years. Well, it's a different market now. So now you got to change. You've been doing the same thing over and over again and seeing success. And then all of a sudden social media changed and that what was working is no longer working. So you have to pivot. Right? It's that flexibility. It's that mental toughness to be able to say, okay, I can get through this. Let's get through it. Push on. Let's go. So I think there's a lot of correlations between the two. And so I'm just going to say, as someone who can stick out an ultramarathon, especially one like Speedgoat, which if you don't know what that is, look it up. Speedgoat 50k, 31-mile race. 11,500, 12,000 feet of climbing. It's a doozy. I can gut out the real estate market in 2025. Just saying. Take care, you guys, and see you on the next one. You!